Good afternoon, everyone. This is Coach Matt. On a Thursday, we have a low and slow workout programmed for today. And what that means is it would also be a good time to do Murph prep if you're on your Murph prep track, if you haven't done that already this week. Also available if you would like to do low and slow with a single monostructural element of cardio. That is a fantastic option too. It is probably the easiest way to get your zone 2 cardio in is just go for a jog for 40 minutes or sit on the bike for 40 minutes, sit on the rower for 40 minutes. Any of those are fine to do if you are inclined to do them. Some people do really well with just zoning out or listening to a podcast or some music and just getting on a bike or jogging and doing that. Other people, this is myself, I like a little bit of structure. I like a little bit of different things to do. I like switching stations. And if you can do that with maintaining your heart rate in that 120 to 140 zone and not go over it, that's really the risk when we do that, is it turns into like a 40-minute AMRAP that's more of a conditioning piece than we intended it to be, or it climbs out of that zone 2 heart rate area. So if you can maintain that zone 2 heart rate and do all the exercises the way that I'm going to describe them, then definitely do this one. But what I say generally is that I want you to pursue the piece of fitness that is most applicable to your desires or your goals on today, okay? And I hope you guys have seen that's a theme that I've been promoting more and more, is like giving more control back to you, giving more choices, giving more decisions. And I know sometimes it can feel like, just tell me what to do. And if that's the case for you, then just grab your kettlebell and let's get going here, okay? So we're gonna start today with 3 minutes of your choice warm-up pace cardio, then grab your kettlebell, we're gonna test out a few of the movements, and then get going on this 40-minute zone 2 AMRAP, right? It will start with an 80-foot bear crawl, right? So that's just down and back, crawling forward. If you would like to do forward and reverse, that's fine too. Really good little shoulder additional workout there. If you do backwards bear crawl, just make sure you watch out behind you. Then go for a 600-meter jog, that is to 5th Street and back. Make sure when you're jogging, you're not holding your breath or having your heart rate climb out of that zone 2 range. Sometimes some people are like that, where like they can do zone 2 on the bike, they can do zone 2 on the rower, but you put them on the road to run and they immediately climb out of that. And if that's the case for you, then maybe you want to switch out the run for a jog, for a row or a bike, okay? Alternately, you could just be really disciplined and make yourself run at a slow enough pace that it is not taking you out of that 140 heart rate cap, okay? Which can be frustrating, because sometimes it just feels like there's only one speed I can go at when I run, and it is an extremely aggressive pace and I need to slow it down, okay? Next, we're gonna do some single leg deadlifts. You can do this with a kettlebell if you'd like to, right? The single leg deadlift is using the leg that is driving here. My knee is just barely bending, right? So it's really a single leg Romanian deadlift, trying to keep the other toe pointed at the ground and the other leg straight. Next, we're gonna do this kettlebell complex that starts with a suitcase carry, right? So I am carrying it like a single object, so asymmetric load, but I need to remain symmetric in my body, so I'm squeezing the opposite side oblique and trying to walk as normally as I can. When I get to the other end, we'll do 5 reps of a hang clean. The hang clean, I'm trying to rotate the handle of that kettlebell so that it wraps around my arm instead of flipping over the top and smashing me on the back of the forearm. It is possible to do it that way and not have a huge impact on your arm. This is just my preference, right? Is wrapping around your arm. When you finish, we're looking for that good front rack position where I can see my knuckles in front of my nose, all right? Then I'm gonna switch hands and walk back and do the same 5 hang cleans with the other side, and then make sure you turn around your fancy watch when you do that so you don't smash the face of your watch. When you finish that 5th hang clean, then we're gonna go into that front rack carry, right? So now I'm just holding it in one arm. When I get to the other end, I'm gonna do 5 reps of a push press with that arm that I just used, and then switch to my opposite hand, walk back, right? And when I get back, I'm doing another 5 reps of that push press. So that's one seamless kettlebell complex that you should be able to complete without stopping, without setting the kettlebell down. Whatever weight you use should be the determining factor, or not setting it down for the whole complex should be the determining factor on what kettlebell weight you choose, okay? And then we're just repeating that sequence again and again for 40 minutes, being sure to maintain that 120 to 140 heart rate and trying not to stop, right? So the goal is that I'm moving at a steady pace, a steady slow pace through the whole thing, as opposed to rushing through one element and then stopping and taking a break, and then rushing through another element and then stopping to take a break, which is the typical MO of like a CrossFit workout, is I work until I can't, until I have to stop, and then I sit there and take a break while my heart rate goes down, and then I work again until I have to stop, and then I stop and take a break until my heart rate calms down, right? And what that doesn't do is it does not get that long duration of steady effort that is so powerful for heart health, for the left ventricle hypertrophy, which creates a stronger, larger stroke volume in the heart and makes our hearts actually improve in their health, right? And that is the goal of Zone 2 cardio, as well as being really good for active recovery and taking a little bit of mental pressure off of you on a day like today, okay? And that's it for Thursday. I'll see you guys on Friday.